Millions of human beings adored him at the height of his profession, and then he turned into long gone all of a sudden. Why would one of the finest comedians of our time quit a show that he helped set up as a subculture? Stay tuned as we display the real reason behind Jon Stewart's sudden go-out from The Daily Show and his subsequent sports. Now, in case you're seeing this, you are possibly aware that Jon Stewart made The Daily Show a household name. But he wasn't just a comic, he hosted it for 16 years. In a trustworthy, wonderful way, he helped hundreds of thousands of human beings understand complex subjects and transformed satire right into a political force. So, what truly came about? Despite his reputation as a comedian, Stewart has continually had a critical aspect. He has become a sturdy voice for subjects he changed into enthusiastic about. In the course of his time on The Daily Show, including veterans' rights, he started out to agree with that he may want to make a contribution extra to those reasons out of doors of a comedy show. Stewart persevered to be influential after he resigned, targeting these reasons and even speaking before Congress. Having experienced such a success career transit, why then did he end? Let's dive deeper into how it all began. Born Jonathan Stewart Leibowitz on November 28, 1962 in New York City, Jon Stewart grew up in a Jewish-owned family in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. His early years have been packed with adventures, comedy, and intellectual curiosity, all of which finally drove his incisive humor and perceptive analysis. Stewart's father, Donald Leibowitz, changed into a professor of physics, whilst his mom, Marion, labored as an educator and academic consultant. When he turned into 11, his mother and father got divorced, which he says was a tough and defining time in his life. Stewart calls racist bullying as a child, and he often used comedy to cope with it, ability he could later refine on a countrywide degree. Stewart changed into a standout scholar and athlete, especially in football at Lawrence High School. Even though Stewart turned into a gifted student, he preferred the use of comedy and satire to cope with social and personal issues. His awesome, humorous fashion, which mixed sarcasm, irony, and self-deprecation, became formed via his early use of comedy as a coping strategy in Protect. Stewart went to the College of William and Mary in Virginia. After graduating from high faculty, he majored in chemistry before everything, however quickly became disinterested and modified to psychology. Despite earning his diploma, he turned into unable to steady a protracted term position in psychology. Rather, his undergraduate years have been essential in molding his outlook and refining his humorousness. His interest in comedy grew whilst he participated in some college theater plays. Following commencement, he held some of brief positions, including that of a bartender, a puppeteer for youngsters with impairments, and a contract supervisor for the City University of New York. Stewart again to New York City in 1986 after figuring out to pursue his comedic dreams professionally and immersing himself inside the thriving stand-up comedy subculture there. He dropped his ultimate call Leibowitz and went by using the stage name Jon Stewart, in component because he nevertheless felt uneasy approximately his Jewish heritage and wanted a greater honest stage call. Stewart persevered the struggles that many aspiring comedians have while running overdue nighttime gigs and acting in small venues for years. His early exercises, which commenced to attract the interest of New York comedian circles, were based totally on his observations of lifestyle, non-public stories, and dry comedy. In The Give Up, Stewart's skill and tenacity paid off. His appearances on stand-up comedy suggests, like Caroline's Comedy Hour and The Comedy Strip, started to draw interest with the aid of the early 1990s. When he was employed by way of MTV to anchor The Jon Stewart Show in 1993, it turned into his big break. This overdue night program rapidly gained a cult following and changed into one among MTV's preliminary attempts at a talk show format. Young viewers and fans of Stewart's real, easygoing method to comedy were drawn to the Jon Stewart display due to its quirky humor and captivating everyman personality. Even though this system best ran for 2 seasons, it cemented Stewart's place in the leisure commercial enterprise and hooked up him as an exceptional voice with lots of promise. Stewart additionally made visitor appearances on numerous overdue Nighttime Suggests round, this time George Santos, Maxim extensively changing Tom Snyder on The Late Show. He began making appearances on well-known applications like Late Night with David Letterman because of his friendly and funny conduct, which made him a high-quality candidate for guest website hosting jobs. One of Stewart's personal heroes, Letterman, took an interest in him and gave him valuable profession steering and coaching. Stewart, particularly on how he mixed sarcasm with sincere inquiry and self-attention. Stewart's popularity on television attracted Hollywood's attention, in which he experimented with writing and appearing. He starred in TV collection like Spin City and The Nanny, and movies like Playing by Way of Heart, 1998, and Mixed Nuts, 1994. His career in comedy and television but become more a hit than his strive at performing. Stewart has frequently made fun of his brief Hollywood profession, claiming that he soon located that his skills have been greater suitable for web hosting and humor than for conventional performing. Stewart presented The Hazard of an Entire Life in 1999, whilst Craig Kilborn invited him to take over The Daily Show. The display became searching for a brand new attitude and a new method after experiencing a few initial achievements. Following his acceptance of the invitation, Stewart right away got down to make the show his personal. Stewart gave The Daily Show an extra political area by addressing subjects that appealed to younger, politically conscious visitors, in preference to simply mocking the structure of news applications. Stewart's take on The Daily Show changed into prominence with the aid of sharp, frequently biting criticisms of politicians, the media, and cultural hypocrisy. Especially in the course of principal occasions just like the U.S. presidential election in 2000, the September 11th assaults, the Iraq War, and the 2008 economic crisis. He and his writing crew, which blanketed future comedy stars like Stephen Colbert, Samantha Bee, and John Oliver, made the show a satirical powerhouse. Stewart had a devoted fan base thanks to his direct, unreserved commentary on these subjects. And The Daily Show emerged as a powerful cultural influence that formed how many Americans perceived politics within the information. Stewart often used interviews with politicians, reporters, and activists to delve deeper into complex troubles than different comedy shows. And his humor was characterized through a blend of skepticism and sincerity. He won reputation through the years as a truthful source for younger human beings seeking information that turned into both ideas scary and enjoyable. Stewart himself rose to prominence in television throughout his time there, and The Daily Show earned limitless Emmys and other accolades. Stewart's impact at some point of these years prolonged beyond leisure. He gave satirical news codex new respectability and transformed American political satire. Stewart's 2004 look on CNN's Crossfire, in which he lambasted the display's biased fashion, in the end resulted inside the show's discontinuation, and verified his dedication to media ethics and responsible journalism. Let's move back to 2015. Stewart chose to depart his position because the face of The Daily Show. Week after week, Jon were on air 4 nights a week. It was a disturbing job, even though it regarded to be all jokes. Weeks after week, he took up radio again and left his department to finish a TEDx talk on the nature of reality. After spending hours on research, composing the script, and filming, he started out to experience exhausted. Stewart recounted that he every so often felt as though he became strolling on empty. He became, in any case, appearing the obligations of a journalist and information anchor at the same time as additionally using comedy. It had a massive, terrible effect on him through the years, having done so for 16 years. He cited trying to pay attention on different sports and burnout, overseeing the production of loads of episodes, and a traumatic 4-day-a-week timetable for The Daily Show. It turned into a demanding timetable that necessitated ongoing planning, the creation of latest content material, and maintaining up with present-day affairs. Stewart stated that he changed into starting to sense the results of this pattern. He stated bluntly in an interview with The Guardian, "I changed into simply so worn out. It seemed like a diversion. I think my emotional investment was too excellent." Stewart's burnout could have been induced in element through his depth and commitment to the show, Stewart, who changed into notoriously meticulous, became committed to ensuring The Daily Show remained excessive caliber and cutting edge. After years of reporting on the Bush and Obama administrations, he frequently voiced his dissatisfaction with the reputation of American politics. Stewart additionally got uninterested in the subjects he protected being static. He claimed to have come to be weary of the redundancy of the American political and media landscapes, which were commonly revolving around the same issues of sensationalism, blame-shifting, and anger. When he left, he famously remarked that he changed into bored with being indignant. This changed into an I-fixed establishing declaration that advised the emotional burden he bore from enduring difficult political realities on an everyday basis. Despite his commitment, Stewart turned into getting to the factor in which his paintings no longer appeared like a worthwhile task, but as a substitute like a taxing duty. He made a comeback to television with The Problem with Jon Stewart on Apple TV+, wherein he offers in-intensity discussions on social and political subjects. Jon Stewart's formative years and profession demonstrate a direction characterized by way of fortitude, inquisitiveness, and an unrelenting dedication to the fact. From being bullied as an infant in New Jersey to performing stand-up in New York City and finally being famous on The Daily Show, Stewart has come to be one of the maximum renown and enormous figures in American satire. His awesome style of comedy, which combines humor with empathy and crucial thinking, has had a lasting impact on political communique and television. Jon witnessed a good-sized change in American politics.